Hey guys, Survival here. Today, I wanted to quickly cover a topic that is commonly brought up, and that is, how did all these historical atrocities occur? Especially things like the Second World War. How did these things occur? It comes down to one thing, and this year demonstrated it perfectly. Collectivism, groupthink, or hive mind. A state where a government, an official, or some other correct source says something and everyone blindly follows along without thinking for themselves, because hey, why would you want to waste all that effort thinking when you can have someone else do that for you? This is how all these things occur. Just because an entity claims legitimacy doesn't mean everything it says will be factually correct. Doesn't mean everything it says will be right. It's up to the individual to consider what is said, look at facts for themselves, and then draw their own conclusion. Not simply blindly follow just because some entity says so. It is alarming how many people are so happily ready to surrender all their freedom, all their rights, and all their privacy, all in the name of public safety. Oh, we need to take away these rights. Oh, you shouldn't be allowed to encrypt data because, it's all for your safety. Oh, we need to know everything there is about you to protect you. One of the most dangerous phrases that I've ever heard in my life is, oh, but if you're not doing anything wrong and you've got nothing to hide, then what's the problem? The problem is, individual right to privacy is more important than the group collective. Just because you want privacy doesn't mean you're up to anything wrong. Why do people's houses have blinds and curtains? Because, if you're not doing anything wrong, why do you need any privacy? People like to say, well, you're carrying around devices all the time that are spying on you. But the wonderful thing about those devices is you can choose to leave them at home. The majority of the time, when Bushcraft and I are out doing things, even when we're not out of town, even when we're in town, we don't always take our phone with us. We can choose to leave it at home. Yet the moment you mention something like, I use a VPN so I can safely use the internet from free public Wi-Fi, everyone looks at you like you're up to no good. You simply use encryption on important personal documents that you've scanned in your computer for whatever reason. People act like, oh, but if you've got nothing to hide, why are you doing that? Oh, you don't need encryption? What's the problem? You're protecting documents that, if they fell into the wrong hands, could have very negative effects for you. Identity theft is one of the most common digital crimes that exists. There are a lot of situations where things such as your driver's license or your passport need to be photocopied, scanned, emailed, uploaded, submitted, all for identity verification purposes, primarily with official entities. The general public like to act as a collective and say, oh, you don't need that, because if you're not doing anything wrong, you've got nothing to hide. It's literally one of the most dangerous phrases in existence. It was a phrase used commonly in the lead up to the Second World War, during and even post Second World War, behind the Iron Curtain. It was used as a way to get people to rat on their neighbours, to turn on each other, to report anyone that wasn't considered a good little party supporter or a good little communist. And yes, a lot of people used it as a way to get rid of people they simply didn't like. Because where any system or program or process can be abused, thanks to human nature, it always will. It's just how people are. I get it, but some people say these things because they're scared. Well, there's a solution to being scared. That is to get informed so that you're not scared. Research things, look into things yourself. Look at more than one source. Look at sources from more than one country. Get informed. Make your own decisions. But remember, just because you don't like something, or just because you're scared of something, doesn't give you the right to inflict that view or opinion or belief on everyone else. If you're scared of something, that's up to you. That's your problem to deal with. You know, if you don't like encryption because you think no one's got anything to hide, well, great. Don't use it. But it doesn't give you any right to tell everyone else that you can't. I know it's slightly off topic, but the flu shot is a perfect example of it. A lot fewer people than one would think get the flu shot. I would argue it's a very small minority of a nation's population that actually get the flu shot. Yet no one else worries. Aren't they all scared of getting the flu? Of course not. Why? Because those that are really scared of it have got the flu shot. So they're protected, they're not concerned. The same thing applies, like I said, to people's right to privacy and their right to use things like encryption. For example, just because some people think it's okay to have premarital sex, there are some people who don't think it's acceptable. Yet everyone's okay with that. People understand that they have difference of opinion. The world doesn't come to an end. Yet, in recent years, everyone likes to take the attitude that, oh, you don't agree with me? You're literally the world's worst person. You must agree with me. And this is very alarming. Because when this infighting, this turmoil, and this group versus group, you must agree with me and believe what I tell you no matter what, you can't think differently, we are one collective communist ideology, becomes the normal, that is the decline of a society. That is the beginning of the end for everything. All societies rise, then they've got a period they're wonderful for, then the decline sets in, like clockwork. It happened with Byzantine, it happened with Rome, it happened with Europe, and once again, history's repeating itself. Society is once again heading towards a decline. If you're still with us, you're probably wondering, why is this relevant? Why is this of concern? Well, as a prepper, I figured this topic is essential and important. Because people need to understand how things happen and why they happen in order to learn from history. And because collectivism and groupthink has and always will be one of the most dangerous and destructive things that can ever happen in any society anywhere in the world. And it's something that preppers need to be aware of. You know, in an apocalyptic scenario such as an end of the world situation, people usually think that if we use the show The Walking Dead as an example, the likes of Negan are your biggest problem. Unfortunately, no. It's not so much the likes of Negan that are the biggest problem. It's the blind collectivism and following that was Negan's group. Those who just blindly agreed because they were given a little something. This is one of the problems when you get any form of welfare situation. When a country has a big welfare system, people go for collectivism because it ensures that the government, the power, the state, continues to give them what they want. And that gives extreme control over people. When you are the sole provider for people, you control them. That's how Negan had his power. He provided everything those people needed, so they blindly followed him like sheep. And I'm sure, as the saying goes, if he told them to jump off a cliff, they would have gladly done it. And that is alarming. Remember, each and every one of us is an individual. As such, we all need to be able to think freely for ourselves. But, as I said before, whether you're a prepper or not, whether you simply just like camping, going bushwalking, hiking, I get it. Some of us like certain activities, some don't. But we all need to respect each other's differences and understand that at no point do any of us, or even a group of us, have a right to inflict our opinion and beliefs and fears on anyone else. That is part of being civilized. That is part of real, proper, democratic society. So I hope this addresses how and why things in the past, atrocities and such, happened, why people let it happen, and I hope that everyone can learn from it and move on forward. I'll leave you with one last saying, and this is one that I've heard on a lot of shows. There's that documentary Social Experiment, The Colony. It was said on that. It was said on several other survival shows, including Surviving Disaster. And that is, society is only 9 meals from anarchy. And as always, stay safe in the bush.